This ancient scripture offers not just philosophy, but a living path, a step-by-step journey toward liberation. It is a profound guide, meticulously structured, designed for the seeker who seeks not just knowledge, but the direct experience of truth. The Yoga Sutras provide the essential framework, the very blueprint for classical yoga, ensuring the practitioner moves steadily toward their ultimate destination. Within these pages lies a systematic approach, one that requires both disciplined effort and deep understanding. It is not a vague aspiration, but a concrete methodology, a map for the mind and spirit to navigate the complexities of existence. This structure is vital, offering clarity and direction on the often mysterious path. The ultimate aim is singular. This is not a distant dream, but the very purpose for which the sutras were composed. The text itself is the vessel, the foundational scripture, that makes this profound union possible for those who walk its path with dedication and discernment. It is the essential guide to this timeless realization. This ancient text opens with a clear declaration, a beacon guiding seekers toward the profound truth within. It states unequivocally that the sutras are not mere philosophy, but a practical path designed to achieve the ultimate goal. This goal is described as the highest state of consciousness, a state of pure awareness free from all limitations. The text establishes its purpose, to lead the practitioner to Kaivalya. Kaivalya is defined as liberation, the complete cessation of the mind's restless activity, where the individual self realizes its true nature. It is the state of absolute freedom, the cessation of all suffering and illusion. This introduction sets the stage for the entire journey, presenting the sutras as the essential guide to this supreme liberation. The purpose is singular and clear: to attain Kaivalya through disciplined practice and deep understanding. This foundational statement is the very heart of the text, illuminating the path ahead. It is the promise of the sutras, the reason for their existence. Yoga is not a physical posture or a ritualistic act, but the profound stillness within. It is the quieting of the constant churning of the mind, the ceaseless dance of thoughts, emotions, and sensory impressions. Patanjali reveals this core truth. Yoga is the complete cessation of the modifications of the mind stuff. This is not annihilation, but the deliberate stopping of the mental whirlwind. The mind, like a restless ocean, creates waves of distraction, memory, and desire, obscuring the true self. Yoga is the act of silencing this internal storm, bringing it to absolute stillness. Only then, when the mind's restless activity ceases entirely, does pure awareness emerge. This awareness is not a new creation, but the natural state of being, the untouched clarity that lies beneath all mental noise. It is the cessation of the fluctuations that reveals the unchanging reality within. This is the essence, the singular definition that guides the entire path. The sutras are not long discourses, but crystalline fragments, each a single, precise thought etched into the mind's quiet space. They are designed not merely to be read, but to be deeply absorbed. carried within the practitioner like seeds of understanding. These aphorisms form a path, a sequence of steps, guiding the seeker from the surface of experience toward the depths of awareness. Each line is a tool, a key to unlock the next stage of the journey. They are concise because they cut through the noise of the mind, presenting only the essential truth needed for the next moment of practice. Memorizing them is not rote learning, but a sacred act of making the wisdom live within you. Internalizing them transforms knowledge into living breath, the very rhythm of your inner work. They are the map and the compass, the silent guide that shows the way step by step without distraction. This structure allows the practitioner to hold the path firmly in their own mind, moving steadily toward the goal. The sutras are a living conversation between the teacher and the student carried within the heart. They demand focus, yet they offer clarity, one simple truth at a time. This is how the path unfolds, in the quiet strength of each remembered word. Within the quiet depths of your being lies the eternal witness, untouched by the dance of thought. You are not the fleeting shadows cast by the mind and senses, nor the shifting forms of the world you perceive. The true self is pure awareness, unchanging and boundless, like the sky untouched by passing clouds. The mind's restless modifications, its worries, desires, and fears, are mere illusions, like ripples on the surface of still water, reflecting a reality that is not real. This illusion is Maya, the veil that makes you believe you are the actor in the play of life, rather than the silent observer. The senses, the mind, and the body are the stage and its props, while the true self remains the eternal audience, untouched by the drama. Recognize this distinction. The true self is the unchanging consciousness, and all else is the temporary play of energy. When you see through the illusion, you realize the true self is not lost within the mind's chaos, but is the calm center, the silent witness to all manifestations. This awareness is the first step toward liberation, the recognition that you are not the dreamer, but the dream itself. Samskaras are the invisible imprints left by every thought, word, and action we've ever experienced. They are not mere memories, but deep-seated tendencies woven into the fabric of our consciousness. These impressions, formed through the subtle interplay of past experiences and present conditioning, become the silent architects of our current thoughts and actions. They shape our habitual responses, often operating beneath conscious awareness, guiding us toward familiar patterns. Without us even realizing it, understanding samskaras is recognizing how our past continuously colors our present reality, revealing the profound connection between what we have been and what we are becoming. This knowledge is the first step toward dismantling the chains of habit and reclaiming our true freedom. The true self, Purusha, is eternal. Unchanging awareness, the silent witness to all experience. It is pure consciousness, beyond form, beyond thought, untouched by the play of the material world. Purusha is not a thing, but the very essence of being. The quiet center that observes without participation. It stands apart from Prakriti, the fundamental energy of existence. Prakriti is dynamic, ever-changing, the source of all physical forms, mental states, and sensory experiences. It is the active force, the field of manifestation, composed of the three gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas. Prakriti creates the illusion of a separate self within the body and mind, generating the constant flow of thoughts, feelings, and perceptions. Purusha remains untouched by this dance, never becoming entangled in the modifications of Prakriti. The confusion arises when the mind identifies with the changing forms of Prakriti, mistaking the temporary for the eternal, the fleeting for the real. Purusha is the witness to this entire process, the unchanging reality behind the apparent world. It is not born, does not die, and remains distinct from the ever-fluctuating energy of Prakriti. This fundamental distinction between the pure consciousness and the material energy is the very foundation of understanding the self. To realize Purusha is to see through the illusion of separation created by Prakriti. The journey is to recognize Purusha as your true nature, free from the bindings of the material world. It is the essence that remains when all forms dissolve. This separation is not division, but the essential nature of reality itself. Purusha is the silent observer. Prakriti is the active show. This is the core truth of existence as revealed in the sutras. Samadhi is the ultimate destination of the mind's journey, where the ceaseless churning of thoughts and sensations finally subsides. It is not a state of emptiness, but a profound stillness where the mind's restless waves become perfectly calm. This stillness is not mere quietude. It is the mind's complete dissolution into its essential nature, its pure awareness. In this state, the practitioner transcends the illusion of separation, dissolving the sense of individuality that binds the mind to the world. The mind, having shed all its modifications, becomes a pure mirror, reflecting only the true self. Disunion with Purusha is not an external attainment, but an internal realization where the witness and the witnessed merge into one unbroken experience. It is the state of absolute peace, where the subtlest vibrations of the mind cease and the practitioner rests in the luminous stillness of pure consciousness. Here, the mind is no longer a tool of perception, but the very essence of being, harmonized with the eternal Purusha. This is the pinnacle of meditative absorption, where the seeker becomes the realized one, free from the cycle of birth and death. It is the quiet ocean where the mind storm has finally ceased, revealing the deep, unchanging calm within. The mind is not a solid rock, nor a stagnant pond. It is a vast, turbulent ocean of thoughts, feelings, and sensations, constantly churning with the waves of vitus, the modifications that arise and vanish like the surface of water. This restless field of impressions, shaped by past actions and present conditioning, is the very ground where confusion takes root and illusion flourishes. Yet this same mind, though seemingly wild and unsteady, possesses a profound capacity for discipline. It is not inherently flawed, but rather a tool waiting to be honed through persistent mindful practice. By turning inward with unwavering attention and gentle perseverance, the practitioner can gradually calm the churning waves, transforming the mind from a storm into a still, clear lake where true awareness can finally arise. This purification is not a distant dream, but a tangible path where each focused effort dissolves the illusion of separation and reveals the calm waters beneath the surface. This path, my child, is not a random journey, but a precise sequence, a ladder built step by step toward the innermost truth. It begins with the outermost steps, the ethical disciplines of yama, where we learn to honor life itself and cultivate harmony with all beings. Moving inward, niyama becomes our anchor, the sacred observances that purify our inner space and cultivate devotion within the heart. Then, asana, the physical foundation, where the body learns stability and ease, becoming a still vessel for the mind. Pranayama follows, the breath as a master key, turning the vital energy inward to calm the storm within. Pratyahara comes next, the gentle withdrawal of the senses from the world's distractions, turning our attention inward toward the source. Dharana is the focused gaze, training the mind to settle upon a single point with unwavering attention. Dhyana flows from this, the continuous stream of awareness, where the mind becomes a river, calm and unbroken. Finally, samadhi, the culmination, where the meditator dissolves into pure awareness, the mind ceasing its fluctuations and merging with the true self. This is the systematic path, each limb a necessary step, leading the seeker from the world of action to the silent ocean of liberation. Yama forms the essential bedrock of our journey, the first step upon which all spiritual practice must stand. It is not merely a list of rules to be obeyed mechanically, but the very foundation of ethical living that purifies our being. These universal restraints, deeply woven into the fabric of human existence, guide our conduct towards all beings with profound respect and compassion. Nonviolence, in its purest form, extends beyond the physical to encompass the protection of all life, both seen and unseen, in thought, word, and deed. Truthfulness becomes the anchor of our existence, safeguarding our integrity and fostering genuine connection with others and the world. These principles are not external obligations imposed upon us, but inherent aspects of our nature. When we align with the universal harmony, to walk the path of yoga, we must first cultivate this deep reverence for life and honesty, for it is the indispensable soil from which the entire garden of spiritual growth can flourish. Without this foundation of ethical restraint, the higher limbs of practice risk becoming mere gymnastics of the body or mind, devoid of true meaning and purpose. Let us therefore honor this sacred ground, for it is the essential preparation for the inner work that follows: purity, is not merely external cleanliness, but the gentle washing away of impurities within your being. A daily practice that reveals the luminous core beneath the dust of habit. It is the quiet act of choosing what nourishes your spirit and releasing what clutters your inner space. Contentment arises from understanding that true wealth lies not in acquisition, but in the deep peace of being present with what is, a surrender to the flow of life, without grasping or aversion. Devotion becomes the steady anchor of your heart, a quiet offering of your will and energy to the divine essence within, fostering a connection that transcends the fleeting storms of the mind. Together, these observances cultivate the unshakable stillness of the inner self, the very foundation upon which your journey toward liberation is built. They are not burdens, but gentle companions, guiding you toward the serene clarity of your true nature. Practice them with patience, and feel the discipline unfold as a natural unfolding of your being, not a forced constraint. Let each breath carry the essence of these practices, tasting the stillness that lies beneath the surface of your daily life. Asana is not about contortion or display of strength. It is the disciplined settling of the physical form into stillness. True stability arises when the body rests firmly upon the earth without strain, anchoring the practitioner in the present moment. This stability is the essential foundation for the mind to find its calm, free from the turbulence of movement. Ease is equally vital, for the body must move with natural grace and minimal effort, dissolving tension that would disturb the inner space. The goal is not to force the body into unnatural positions, but to cultivate a posture where breath flows effortlessly and the spine stands tall without rigidity. This effortless stillness prepares the physical vessel, allowing the energy to flow freely and the mind to turn inward with clarity. When the body rests in this balanced ease, it becomes a silent witness, ready to support the deepening of meditation. Asana is the sacred ground where the physical and mental realms begin to merge, creating the necessary space for the journey inward. Breath is the silent river flowing through the channels of your being, carrying the vital energy that animates every cell. When you turn your attention inward to this natural rhythm, you begin to understand its profound connection to the subtle currents within your body. By consciously controlling the flow of air, you learn to regulate the life force itself, prana, which pulses through your energy pathways. This gentle guidance of breath becomes a sacred discipline, not merely for physical health, but for the deep work of stilling the restless mind. You discover that every breath is an opportunity to quiet the storm of thought, to anchor yourself in the present moment. Through consistent practice, the mind learns to settle, becoming calm and clear like still water reflecting the sky. This is the essence of pranayama, mastering the breath to master the inner wind, transforming agitation into peace. Feel the breath as the bridge between body and awareness, the key that unlocks the door to inner stillness. Let each inhalation and exhalation become a conscious act of surrender, calming the mind's turbulence and preparing the heart for deeper union. Pratyahara is the sacred turning inward, the deliberate retreat of the senses from the clamor of the external world. It is not mere avoidance, but a conscious withdrawal. A gentle yet firm closing of the doors that let the incessant noise of form and sound flood the inner sanctum. You must recognize the restless nature of the senses, their constant pull toward objects, and choose to draw them back within the quiet chamber of awareness. This act of turning inward is the necessary bridge between the physical realm and the profound depths of concentration. It requires patience and awareness, for the senses will resist, seeking the familiar comfort of the outside. Yet, through persistent practice, you learn to hold the senses within the boundaries of the mind, preparing the field for the stillness that follows. This is the essential step where the outer journey begins to transform into an inner one, where the mind finds its true home. Dharana is the deliberate act of anchoring the mind firmly upon one singular point or object, resisting the natural tendency of the mind to scatter. It is not mere concentration, but the cultivation of unwavering attention, where the restless currents of thought gradually settle into stillness. This practice requires conscious effort to maintain the focus, transforming the mind from a turbulent sea into a calm, steady current, directed solely toward the chosen target. Transcript of the prompt audio True Dharana emerges when the mind ceases to wander, fixed upon its point of focus. It is the essential bridge between the scattered awareness of ordinary consciousness and the deeper flow of meditation. Dhyana is not a stage you reach, but the very essence of being present. It is awareness flowing without interruption, a seamless river of consciousness moving steadily through the depths of the mind. There is no separation between the observer and the observed. The flow itself is the witness. Thoughts may arise like ripples, yet they do not break the continuity of awareness, which remains undisturbed and whole. This state is the meditative state itself, pure and unbroken. It is the quiet hum of existence, where the mind's usual turbulence dissolves into a single luminous current. There is no effort required to maintain it. It simply is, a natural unfolding of the true self. It is the stillness within the movement, the calm that holds the entire universe within its silent embrace. This is dhyana, the continuous, uninterrupted flow of awareness, where the seeker becomes the flow. Samadhi is not a state you reach through effort alone, but the natural culmination when the mind's restless currents finally cease. It is the profound stillness where the constant chatter of thoughts and the illusion of separation dissolve entirely. Within this pure absorption, the meditator experiences the dissolution of the sense of I and mine. The very fabric of individual identity unravels. There is no longer a separate observer, only pure awareness, unbound and luminous. This is the silent union where the distinction between subject and object vanishes completely. In samadhi, you simply are, free from the limitations of the mind's play. The path unfolds through careful steps, each requiring your steady attention. The sutras guide you through the precise movements of your body and mind, not as fleeting gestures, but as deep, intentional actions. You must move through each posture with unwavering focus, allowing your body to settle into stillness. Your breath must flow with measured rhythm, not hurriedly. This is the work of the present moment. Do not seek quick results. The mind's journey is slow and deliberate. The sutras teach that true progress comes only through persistent repetition, day after day, season after season. Your practice must be your constant companion, woven into the fabric of your life. When the mind wanders, return gently, without judgment. This is the discipline of patience itself. Do not force the calm. Let it arise naturally through your unwavering effort. The sutras remind you that the path requires humility, acknowledging that mastery is not won in days, but in years. The mind will resist, will grow restless. This is the test of your patience. Do not abandon the seat when the body aches or the mind chatters. Remain seated, breathe deeply, and trust the process. This is the essence of your practice. Do not measure your progress against others. Each step is unique to your journey. The sutras emphasize that the true measure is your own consistency, your unwavering commitment to the path. Let patience be your silent guide, walking alongside your practice. The sutras do not promise instant peace. They demand your full presence, your steady hand on the wheel. Only through this consistent effort, this patient dedication, will the mind's river find its calm. This is the only way forward. Do not seek shortcuts through the mind's wilderness. The sutras show you the path is paved with discipline, not desire. Your patience is the soil in which the seeds of liberation are sown. Tend to this garden with care. The sutras provide the map, but the traveler must walk it step by step, breath by breath. You move toward the stillness within. This is the work of the dedicated soul, the work of patience. Do not fear the long hours. The sutras say the mind's journey is measured in time, not in moments. Your practice must be your refuge, your sanctuary in the storm. Remain patient, and the stillness will reveal itself. The sutras teach that the mind's fluctuations cease only through persistent, gentle effort. This is not a race, but a deepening. Your patience is the quiet strength that allows the mind to settle. Do not rush the stages. Each must be mastered before the next begins. The sutras show you that true practice requires respect for the process, not the destination. Your patience is the bridge across the chasms of distraction. The sutras do not promise ease. They promise the path, the method. Your consistent practice is the key. Your patience is the key. Do not lose sight of the journey within the destination. The sutras speak of the mind's nature as fluid, ever-changing. Your practice must be constant, your patience unwavering. This is the only way to still the waves within. Do not expect immediate clarity. The sutras teach that the mind's stillness comes only through consistent, patient effort. Your practice must be your anchor, your constant companion. The sutras show you that the path is not about perfection, but persistence. Your patience is the silent partner to your effort, the steady hand that guides you through the unknown. Do not abandon the practice when the mind resists. The sutras say the mind's resistance is the very soil where patience grows. Your consistent practice is the seed, your patience the water. The sutras remind you that the journey requires your full presence. Do not let impatience steal your focus. Your practice must be your constant, your patient companion. The sutras do not offer shortcuts. They offer the path, the method, the steady rhythm. Your consistent practice is the path. Your patience is the path. Walking. The guru is not merely an instructor, but a guide who walks beside you through the unseen terrain of your practice. You stand on the edge of the known, yet the path ahead is shrouded in the subtle veils of your own mind. The guru sees the hidden currents of your thoughts, the unspoken fears that rise when the mind begins to settle, and the delicate imbalances that arise within the subtle body. Without this guidance, you might stumble into confusion, mistaking the stillness of the mind for the absence of thought, or clinging to the temporary sensations of the practice as the ultimate goal. The guru helps you navigate the complexities of the subtle experiences, the fleeting glimpses of the true self that flicker like a candle flame in the wind. They do not impose answers, but illuminate the path through their presence, their wisdom, and their unwavering patience. They show you how to recognize the true nature of the experience without becoming entangled in its form. The guru is the bridge between the surface of your being and the depth where liberation lies, ensuring you do not fall into the trap of misunderstanding the very essence of the journey. They make the subtle known, transforming the unknown into a step towards the light. The path becomes clear only through their guidance. The mind's journey is rarely smooth, my friend. Distractions arise like shadows in the light. Born from the very nature of awareness itself, these obstacles, thoughts, emotions, sensory pulls, are not external enemies, but internal storms, stirred by the mind's restless energy, manifesting as the ceaseless flow of modifications. They appear as the clamor of the world, the whispers of past conditioning, or the sudden surge of desire, each a veil, obscuring the pure consciousness within. Yet the sutras reveal that understanding is the first key to liberation. Recognizing these disturbances as temporary patterns, not truths, dissolves their power. True practice then becomes the steady, patient application of this insight, turning awareness inward to witness the storm without being swept away. It is through consistent effort, returning to the stillness within the mind's own rhythm, that the practitioner learns to navigate these currents, not by force, but by profound recognition. The path demands this quiet engagement, where understanding transforms distraction into the very ground for awakening. This state is not a place you arrive at, but the natural unfolding of your true being. It is the cessation of all seeking, the quieting of the mind's restless dance, where the illusion of separation dissolves. You stand not as a separate entity, but as the luminous awareness that has always been. The world remains, yet you perceive it through the clarity of your own essential nature, untouched by the shifting currents of time and form. There is no longer the seeker and the sought, only the unbroken flow of pure consciousness. This is the ultimate freedom, the silence that speaks without words, the stillness within that knows itself. It is the realization that you are not the mind, not the body, not the emotions, but the very space where they arise and pass away. This state is not something you achieve through effort, but the recognition of what has always been present, the undisturbed peace of your true essence. It is the end of the journey, not a destination, but the return home to the self you have always been. In Kaivalya, the individual self finally recognizes its own boundless nature. Free from all conditioning and limitation, this is the state of absolute liberation, where the mind's modifications cease and pure awareness shines forth in its fullness. It is the stillness within that knows itself as the stillness.